Hello Randonauts, and welcome to Salem, Massachusetts. So basically for my entire life, as far as I can remember, I have had a fascination with Salem, Massachusetts, and it might have something to do with the movie Hocus Pocus, which came out in 1993, and how just awesome that movie was, and it takes place here. It's obviously very much fictional, that movie, but just the whole story of the witches and everything, and I know that I'm not alone. They're doing a tour thing over here, so I'm not going to interrupt it with my own crazy talking, but I know I'm not alone in this fascination. It's like so old here. I mean, Massachusetts is already old, but like Salem is even like the oldest of the old. Like it's up there with like Boston and stuff. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here, and we're gonna do some awesome randonauting. Right now I am kind of in like the downtown area. It's very touristy down here, so I don't know if I'm gonna do a lot of like filming. I'll do a little bit of filming so you guys can see, but it's like clearly like the tourist mile. There's a lot of like just like fetishy haunted stuff, which is fine, but it's not real, and I want to get into the real stuff. So that's what we're going to use the Randonautica app to do, is plug into what's really going on here. So I will show you, and we will get going. It is a rainy day in Massachusetts right now. There's like all these of course I choose to start filming right when there's all these people walking by. I'm still not really fully used to like filming myself out in public, especially with like a big camera like this, because you always gonna get a little bit of attention when you start pulling out a big camera and talking to yourself with it. Anyway, so it's rainy. It's kind of awesome, an awesome time to be in Salem with like this kind of dark, like drizzliness happening. And I am going to pull out my phone and start randonauting. I don't know where to put my camera because I'm in a different car, but I'm just gonna put it here. And it might not be a totally great frame, but whatever. That's what we're working with. Okay. It's so cute. There are just a bunch of like little girls in witch hats that just walked by. So cute. People here, people who come to Salem clearly are coming here because they also have that like connection to it. Like there's people dressed in like all gothic clothes and like kind of Halloweened up. And I just love that people are coming to Salem and like getting in the spirit, even though it's nowhere near Halloween. Okay, but let's get into the randonauting. So I am just in my car, obviously, where I parked near kind of the downtown area, and I am gonna do just what I normally do. I'm just going to set my intention and then just see where the app takes us. I pulled up the app, there we go, and I'm giving it my location. So in terms of my intention for this very special randonauting in Salem, I want to know some of the more, like the deeper, darker history that might be missed, that is still like existing in this area. So that's my intention, to be led to somewhere that's going to reveal something more about kind of the deeper, and again, like kind of the darker side of the history of this place that still is playing out today. So there's still an energy from that dark history that is having an effect on Salem today. All right, so I'm putting it in as my attractor. I always do the temporal one for how it like gets your attention. And we have our location. Did you like that song? It's for you. So it's bringing me to a spot that looks like it's kind of like just on the side of the street. I don't know what street this is, or even like, yeah, okay. So this is like just between a couple houses. So it looks like there's kind of like an open space, like, okay, focus, focus. That's maybe not gonna focus, but there's this open space between these two houses, and that's where it wants us to go. So let's just drive on over there and see what there is to see. So once I went to go put the directions like in the phone, like take me there, this place is not very close. This is like an 8-minute drive, which to me is far for a Randonautica. Usually when I do them, it's like fairly close. So the fact that this is taking me like 8-minute drive away, I'm kind of like, I almost at first like canceled the whole thing and was like, you know what, let's not even do this one. But there's like something inside of me telling me like I need to like follow through and like go to this one. So we're just gonna go there and see what happens. But 8-minute drive, for some reason feels like a lot to me. And so I hope the reward is great. So we're getting close. This is definitely a neighborhood. That is a neighborhood, and I don't really know what to think yet. So let's just trust. So as I rightfully should be, I'm a little self-conscious about filming in people's yards and stuff. So where it's taken me, I'm gonna pull up just a tiny bit, is like I showed you on the map, like this spot, like it's kind of where like a bunch of people's backyards meet. And I don't know what to tell you about it. I'm gonna show you. It's just like all these fences. It's kind of interesting how all their yards meet right there, but there's nothing interesting going on back there, like nothing at all. So obviously this is one of those situations where I'm sure there is something going on there. I mean, this is a very specific yet random place to be led to. But because it's people's backyards, like, I just don't want to go like poking around in their yards. But it looks nice. I mean, it looks like a nice situation. I don't know. One thing I did notice was when I was like turning around to get to this spot, there was like a sign mourning like a teenage girl that died. But that's like not here. That's like just like right over there. And so I thought maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. So in terms of my intention of like finding out like more about like a dark history of Salem that might still be affecting it, I mean, maybe it's a weed. Like maybe there's like a literal like plant or something that's like ruining the natural whatever of Salem, and it's like in that yard. Who knows? I don't know. It could be a million things, but I think we need to do another one to balance this out. Oh, the light is a little bit better here. That's nice. One thing I just noticed is, so I kind of drove to a different spot so that I wouldn't be just like in that spot by those people's houses, because I just don't want to be that person that's like filming forever in front of someone. Like, how weird would that be if you're just like in your house and you look outside and there's some girl in the car like filming? Like, it's just weird. But I also, you know, love it. So I moved to be in front of a different person's house to freak out a different person and all that fun stuff. So now I am going to open my phone, and the thing I was going to tell you, I'm all over the place today, is that as I was leaving that spot, I noticed that the main street that I was on before I turned into it is a street called Gallows Hill. So that's interesting. I mean, Gallows Hill, that's always the spot in the town where you kill people. So it's interesting that like the street, it wasn't the street that spot was on, but like it was like off that street. So I don't know, maybe a connection, maybe. Okay, so we're pulling the app back up. Okay, guys, what should my next intention be? We got to make this really freaking good. Maybe I need to make it way more specific, because that last intention was really vague, and I've noticed whenever I make these kind of vague intentions, I tend to get a vague answer. So, okay, here we go. So my intention now is to be led to a tragic memorial. So I want the app to lead me to some sort of memorial for someone involved in some sort of tragedy. That's very specific. So let's see if the app in my intention magic can pull that off. Okay, doing my intention. Okay, cool. We've got a point. Let's see if it's gonna be what we think it's gonna be. Oh, God damn it. Okay, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. And that is that it has led me to a place in the bottom of a freaking lake. So I'm just gonna show you, just so you can see. I've never had that happen before, where the point is like in water. And I don't doubt that some tragedy happened at that point and there's like some sort of needed memorial for that, whatever happened there. But obviously we can't really get in there. So we're gonna do that. But thank you, Randonautica, but we're gonna do this again. Okay, so I'm gonna focus my intention a little bit harder and we're gonna intend not to get in the water. Okay, let's see what we got. So interesting. So this one is like closer to where I was. So it's kind of closer to the more like downtowny, like old, whatever old Salem thing is. And it looks like someone's house, but I don't know, maybe it's an old house where there was stuff going on. I guess I should just show you. Let's show you. You can see that? So let's go there and let's just do a little bit of exploring. Okay, so we're almost there. It's so crazy because we are almost like exactly back to the place that I was like parked before. Like this is really, really close to the downtown area. These homes here are super old. A lot of them do have like placards on them in terms of like saying when they were built and stuff, and also who originally built them. So I'm wondering, oh shit, okay, it says we arrived. Oh great. I am pretty excited about this one because I can just already tell. I've just parked and I can already tell this is gonna be really cool to see. First of all, look at this weird purple house. So this house is not our destination, but it's right next to it and I just like it a lot. It's like so old and it's like all paint what am I trying to say? Paint peely. And anyway, that's cool. Okay, so the spot is right up this street called Parker Court. So, okay, so there's this blue house right here. And I think actually the spot is actually technically like the garage of the blue house, like where it meets the red house. But the thing I'm excited about is these houses are so freaking old and there is a placard on the blue house. So let's go up and read it. Also notice how the, like look how the dead end sign is like so, it just stands out so much, and that's like so, it's like right where our spot is basically. I feel like that has something to do with this like tragic memorial ending. Very cute garden blue house. I like what you've got going on here. Very cute. Okay, let's read what this placard says without like breaking whatever. Okay, this was built for George Cook Chase, manager, Forest River Lead Company, 1843 at Winter Street. Moved to this site. Okay, so this is a house that was moved. Interesting. So initially this house was somewhere else, and then it was moved to this street. I wonder if a lot of these houses have something like that. Oh, also interesting, now that I see this, is there's like a yellow ribbon tied around this tree, and I feel like that's something that people do a lot when they want to like say something is like a memorial site or they're memorializing something. So I feel like that has something to do with this too. So now we're just gonna take a little jaunt down here, because technically the spot, like the real spot, is closer to this red house. So let's see if the red house has a placard on it too. Or it's just, look how close these houses are. Like when they moved these houses, they were like, screw it, let's just pack them on top of each other. Okay, well it doesn't have a placard, but it does say that that entrance is closed, which is interesting. And then we're just gonna keep walking because I feel awkward. I am so glad it took me back here because these are the coolest houses. These are like the epitome of the cool, super old New England houses that I just think are like the best. So now I'm just, I don't even know where I am now, but I'm just kind of back behind everything now. But I think this is pretty cool, and I could totally see there maybe being like tragic memorial type situations like involved with, oh my gosh, there's a cat and it's running towards me. Wait, there it is, there it is. Maybe the cat, there's always a cat in my Randonautica videos now, it just has to happen. So anyway, this has been very interesting, and I'm just gonna keep exploring for a little bit and see if anything jumps out at me. God, I just love these houses. Just look at this old Victorian house. I love it. So that was pretty cool, guys. I am learning my lesson here, and that is that the more specific you can be with your Randonautica intention, the more likely you're gonna get results that are, one, really cool, or two, like more aligned with like what you're talking about. So in the future, I'm gonna keep making sure that we do very specific ones, like how I did in my last video where we talked about the color pink and all that fun stuff. Like that is the kind of stuff that you need to be focusing on if you want to do Randonautica on your own. Learn from my lessons here. So I'm going to keep exploring this cool freaking city, and I will see you guys in my next Randonautica video. I always forget to say it, but if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for all kinds of fun adventures, lots of Randonautica and just other random stuff that I do. I will keep you entertained. All right, I'll see you in my next one.